Mm-hmm.
And we are finally live. I'm Stephanie, and this is Dances with Kobolds for onCCCCon. I think that's how you say it anyway. And tonight we are playing Nothing Happens in Elmwood, designed by friend of the show, Xavier. And now available on DM's Guilds. Tonight I am joined by...
Hi, I'm Rich, and I'll be playing Meepo.
I'm Chris. I'll be playing Gimdal.
And I'm Martine. I'll be playing the Architect of Pain.
Ooh, we got some fun ones tonight. Okay. So as a part of this adventure, you are all hired by a Lady Elsa Tillingwood. And you are all sent an invitation to come visit her at her mansion. You arrive at the front door, knock, and then her manservant comes to you and says, "Ah, it is good that you have arrived. My lady is upstairs, waiting for you. I'll quickly usher you in this very fine, lovely home, and I'll put you past the parlor where you would expect to be introduced, all the way up the stairs to a bedroom. And you enter into this bedroom, and you see an older woman lying on a bed. Now, you've heard about Lady Elsa Tillingwood. You know she's supposed to be like in her 60s, but the woman before you looks exceptionally old. She looks over 100. She looks like if you sneezed at her, she would kind of just disappear into a puff of smoke. She's that ill-looking and frail-looking. She turns to you and says, "Oh, hello. Thank you for answering my call. Come closer."
Yes. How can we help you, my dear?
As you can see, I am quite ill. I have been to every doctor and every cleric and every temple for miles around, and no one can cure it. However, my associates have brought me word of a child in a place called Elmwood that supposedly has magical healing properties. I want you to go there and bring him and his family back to me and see if he could heal me. If it works, they will live in the life of luxury. Their child will be educated and safely protected within my estate. In return, you will get 2 treasure points equal 100 gold. Each.
A bag of gold.
Bag of gold. You know what? That's better. And I'll throw in some healing potions for you.
Okay.
Thank you. If you have any questions, my manservant will be able to answer them for you. You will be outfitted with a cart and horses. It's a few weeks' journey from here, but you should be fine. And you see that she kind of collapses back into the bed that even this little bit of interaction has exhausted her. So you can tell she's like really ill.
Yeah, I tried to see if she was possibly faking it or not, but I didn't do very well.
Oh, I see you now. Yeah, she does not look like she's faking it. If you want to run anyone want to run a medicine check or a nature check, you can also try.
Those are not my areas of specialty.
If she's an animal, Meepo knows.
Meepo knows that this is not what older humans look like. You've met some older humans are frail, but you've also met many an older human that was actually quite spry. So you think this is actually unusual. Very unusual.
This is very unusual.
Gimdal, you know that this is not natural. This isn't like some sort of wasting disease. This isn't a disease that affects the elderly more than most folks. There is definitely some sort of strange magical component to this, and it's like nothing you've ever seen before. With that, your insight check, you think you're pretty sure she's telling the truth.
Okay, I asked the manservant, do you know what brought this on? What circumstances, what environment she was in when this started to happen?
And he'll say, as he's messaging the other servants, "No, dear sir, I don't know, quite know. She is the owner of a large shipping company, so maybe this is some strange poison by a competitor, or some strange magic cooked up by some witch doctor somewhere."
Back!
Can I tell from my medicine check, would she survive long enough for us to make this journey to Elmwood and back?
You think... basically, you think she can... you plot the journey in your head and you're like, yeah, but barely. She seemed to have a lot of fire in her. Alright, and we are back. Sorry about that, folks. Something went a little funky with our streaming service, but, rewinding us here, we have met with Lady Elmwood, and between Gimdal's medicine check and Meepo's animal handling check, they figured out that, yes, this is probably something magical, and that it is, she's exceptionally old. She's looking far older than she should be, and that she will just barely survive the journey there and back with this child. Oh, and that she owns a large shipping company, because I don't know exactly when we got cut off. Alright, so you're saying we better do this journey and do it quick?
Yes. Based upon my observation of her, we should probably be quick about this and find this person as soon as possible. I asked the manservant, I don't know very much about the local geography. Would taking a ship be quicker, or are we going by land?
Well, the problem is that Elmwood is inland, so it's not bound by a sea. So land is our only option. Or else we would have sent you on a ship.
Okay.
And you should be safe. As you remember, there was the Moander incident about 2 years ago. But the area has since revitalized, and the highways and byways should be very safe. And the Moander incident actually featured in other Adventures League modules. And it was like crazy, a bunch of crazy cultists tried to take over Elmwood, and they set fires or tried to bring a fire elemental in or something. But great heroes defeated them, and, you know, there's been a lot of rehabbing and rebuilding of the area since.
Okay, well, I suggest we get on our way then.
Agreed.
Okay. And with that, you all get on the cart and you hitch a ride to Elmwood. Your journey there is pretty uneventful, so if you want to add a little bit more color to your characters or talk amongst yourselves for a few minutes until we get to Elmwood, you're welcome to do so. Or if not, I can skip right there.
I play with my whip and stare at everyone the entire trip.
Meepo takes his flying monkey that he got from Cholt and starts trying to feed it some food. The monkey instead grabs the food bag off Meepo and flies away from him. Meepo starts trying to chase the monkey to no great effect, as the monkey can fly and Meepo can't.
Oh no! What was the name of the monkey?
Monkey.
Oh, Monkey. I'm sure Monkey comes back. You'll run out of food eventually.
That's what Meepo's afraid of.
Gimdall's trying to figure out what Meepo is.
Do you try and hide your heritage, or at night are you kobold and proud, Meepo?
Meepo is very obviously a kobold. It doesn't take the adventurers very long to realize that somehow a kobold has infiltrated their party.
I'm a Shatter Kai. This is supposed to be weird.
Oh, you're an interesting bunch, then.
I'm just shaking my head, muttering.
Come back here, monkey!
Monkey comes back eventually.
Good monkey.
He's kind of like a cat that way, you know. Go, leave, come back. And you make the journey there. Again, it's very uneventful. You see a fair bit of trade going up and down the main thoroughfare into town. And then you will finally arrive in the town of Elmwood. What do you do?
I go to the local tavern and I ask for directions to the boy that is known to heal people.
Okay, and with that, you see a young barmaid named Mary Bell, and she's like, "Oh, dear Marco! Marco and Maddie's cottage is right over there yonder." And she will point you over in the rough direction. He really can heal people. It's not poppycock. Saved my leg. Healed some of the law. Let's see. Sorry, I'm not Matt Mercer, so my accents go all over the place. One sec. He healed Alaga's arm the other day. Thought we were going to have to cut it off.
Is he charging for this service?
Well, we all help Maddie the best way we can since her, husband died 2 years ago in the incident. But Maddie ain't putting on no airs. She's a simple girl like that. She's telling the truth. In fact, if you could talk to a couple other people, and they all really love Marco, and they all can tell a story about how Marco, healed a kid who had a fever. A couple of the loggers were going to lose arms, hands, limbs to infection. Marco healed them right up. They don't understand why Marco has this power. They think after everything, because he was born not too long after the Moander incident, a few months later. They think it might have something to do with that more religious characters are like, the god, this is a blessing from the gods. Some people think that maybe all the magic the cultist was using did something. Okay, so with your religion check, you do know from stories that sometimes gods can bestow special powers on children or on high-level on anyone, any mortal they take a shine to for various reasons. Sometimes it's a kid, and a kid's just born with it. Sometimes people receive those powers. But you would also know that sometimes magic does weird things. So it could be either or.
So I asked him, has he always been this way since birth, or did he just start having these powers one day?
Well, it wasn't like he came out walking around and started touching people. I think as soon as he was, crawling about, I think he started healing people. I think he has to want to do it. There has to be a thought behind it. I think that's how it works.
Are there any temples nearby?
I'm not a big Forgotten Realms fan, but I assume there is a temple here to Maliki or someone like that.
I believe there is, and I believe it's Shantea.
Probably either Shantea or Maliki. Well, there is at least some sort of temple, if small. Are you looking for a particular god?
Well, I was going to check with the local clergy to see what they thought about this, if they've investigated it.
You do come to a very, very small, newly built chapel almost. Not like a full church, but it's suitable for a small town like this. And you do have an acolyte there who tells you that, yes, Marco does have these powers, but he actually kept it kind of quiet. He didn't want necessarily the news of this getting out, because he was afraid of what might happen to Marco. And he actually asks you to keep it quiet as well. Because the town is fiercely protective of Marco.
Do you happen to know, have you seen any evidence or signs of what deity might be giving him these powers?
This is Bob the cleric. No.
Okay.
Some things just happen.
Bob, do we know the people he's healed before, or why he chose to heal in the past?
I think he just has a gentle soul. I think he sees everyone. He's a small child, and all children really do have the sweet innocence about them. And they see someone in pain and hurting, and they want to take it away. And I think that's just what he does. It's like he gives them a hug, and then all this fiery, bright light comes out, and it burns away the illness and infection and everything. I've never witnessed anything like it.
So the child's name is Marco, and his mother is Maddie. Is that correct?
That is correct. His father was Micah. I'm just going to go with Shantea. Shantea, rest his soul.
Maybe we should give the family a visit.
Please do. Send my regards to Maddie. And you make your way over there. It's in the morning. I would say around 10-ish. And what do you guys do?
I think we go over to Micah.
Yeah.
Micah's
Oh, sorry, not Micah. The boy.
Oh, are you going to knock on the door first? You're in front of their cottage.
Oh yeah, knock on the door. I kind of look and I'm like, is this how we do it on this plane?
Yes, it is polite to knock on the door before just barging in.
And with that, you see a young, short redhead. I'll bring up a picture in a minute. She looks more like a half-elf in the picture, an elf in the picture. She's a human. Very young woman with tears running down her face. And she opens the door and says, "Have you found Marco? Are you here with the sheriff?"
Oh dear, no. We're not with the sheriff. We were looking for Marco ourselves.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Can you help me find my Marco?
I guess we're obligated to.
Oh, please come in.
We would love to.
Come in.
I turn to you and go, we would?
Yes,
Nico
we would.
shrugs. Where'd you last see him? And how do you know he's missing?
Well, I put him to bed around 9 p.m. last night. I went to bed at around 10 or so. An hour later, I heard nothing the whole night. But then this morning I went in to check on him, and he was gone.
How old is Marco again?
He's about 2. He's about 2 years old.
I turn to I turn to like I look at Meepo and I'm like, no. I look at Gimdall and I'm assuming Gimdall is kind of a dwarf.
Yes.
And I'm like, I look at her and I'm like, so tell me, humans that are 2 years old, do they move on their own?
Yeah, yes, he can walk. They're in what us humans call the toddler stage.
Got it. So, like a proper person's around, 30 or 40.
Humans tend to mature at 18, but, yeah.
Wow, that's really slow. Kobolds mature much faster.
Back at the business at hand, may we investigate the area where he sleeps?
Oh, yes, please do. Here's his bedroom. And you have this kind of, like, small bungalow of a cottage. Basically, there's, like, sort of 2 rooms to the back, a cellar, yeah, there's a cellar. And basically, you're in, like, the living room. It's kind of like open concept living room, kitchen, dining area. It isn't that big. But you go into Marco's room, and it looks like a normal child's room. There's toys strewn about the floor, a little bed, or crib, and a window. So what would you like to do?
I will ask, has he ever toddled away before?
Well, little kids try and walk away, but I closed the door, and I locked the window, so I don't see how he could have gotten outside. My front door was locked.
I checked the window.
Roll me an investigation. All right, and with that, you realize that the window's lock was picked from the outside, and it looks like someone used a thin blade to slide the lock over, sort of like jimmying it.
Ma'am, is there anyone who's expressed interest in taking the boy or having him come over, somewhat forcefully?
Is there a Church of Joaquin in town? That's the correct god for this plane for money lovers, correct?
Everyone loves money. I think the Church of Joaquin worships it.
Maddie will do sort of a sly chuckle, and she'll say, yes, I guess you can suppose so. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of her myself, but no, all we have is Cleric Bob. And Shantae here. The townsfolk have been... I'll be honest. I know that Marco's special, and it's not just because I'm his mother, and all mothers think their children are special. I know he has a gift, and we've done our best to keep the gift quiet, because we've been afraid of something like this. But no one's made any overt threats to me. If they did, the whole town would be up in arms and come to protect Marco.
Do I notice any sign of struggle?
You don't notice any sign of struggle, but it was a sleeping baby. And you do know that, if you're stealthy enough and quiet enough, you can lift like a small kid out and just sort of carry them out. It isn't inconceivable, that's the word, for the kid to have just slept through this. There's no signs of violence or anything like that. Like someone swooped in, gently picked up this kid and left.
I'd check outside, go outside, check outside the window on the ground for
Yes.
any like tracks or anything?
I would
Absolutely.
like to check the outside as well.
All right, throw me either your choice, investigation or survival.
I will choose survival.
Okay, the architect. You find. Well, actually, I want to say this, Gimdal. You find that assigns that a small number of humanoids. You're not sure what type of humanoids. Went up to Marco's window, and then they went away. You can kind of find a rough trail of matted grass and broken glass that leads to the woods behind her house. Now, the architect, you find a half-booted footprint in a soft spot on the ground. And you also find some claw marks on the underside of the windowsill to Marco's room.
Do I think I can identify those claw marks with a nature check?
Sure, roll me a nature, see what happens.
All right.
Hey,
I get
Meepo,
confused.
Can I see your hands?
Meepo will hold up his hands.
Yeah, I
Alright.
forgot what plane I'm on.
You're like, there's a lot of things with claws. Does that exist on this plane? Now, Gimdal, as soon as you say that, you grab Meepo's hand, and you bring Meepo's hand up to the claw marks, and you realize, it looks like hands like this could have caused claw marks like this. Like the right...
Meepo didn't do it. Meepo wasn't even here. Meepo had very good alibi. Meepo has Monkey. Monkey, you'll vouch for Meepo, right?
Monkey also, or not Monkey. You also have Gimdal and the architect.
Meepo innocent. Meepo plead the fifth. What's the fifth? Meepo had 3 fingers. 4. Meepo can't count. Meepo starts hyperventilating.
It's fine, Meepo. I'm not going to accuse you.
I
Also,
look over at Meepo
inspiration,
and I'm
that's a pretty good carbon copy of Meepo from Sunless Citadel.
I'm like, do I kill him now? Looking over to Gimdal. I thought he was like a mascot or something.
No. I'm not sure what he is yet. I'm still making up my mind.
Meepo is from a very proud long line of Meepos.
Miss Maddie, can you tell us what's over there back in those woods?
It's the woods. If you go pretty far, a few hours walk, you'll reach the lumber camp. It's not exciting, it's woods.
Who normally works at lumber camp?
Well, there's, Matilda. She runs the lumber camp. She's very nice. And there's also a bunch of other laborers that go in and out. Most from the local village, but occasionally we get the odd, vagabond who just works for a few days for some gold and leaves.
I see. Thank you. I think we should probably follow this trail. I have a feeling it's going to lead to the camp.
Oh, please find my baby boy. He's all I have left after Micah.
Meepo, are you good at tracking?
Meepo can try.
Meepo knows how to track. You follow this trail, and you almost get a brief scent of something on the wind, but you can't make it out. And you follow it, and you actually see a snare trap. And you warn your compatriots before they step in it.
Don't step. There's a trap here.
You also notice that the rope was cut. While something as heavy as a human was hanging off it.
They made the incision right here. Something was carried and then fell. Are there any tracks from where the thing that was hanging from the snare trap fell or went to?
Roll me some investigations. Ooh, Meepo! You find a nice dagger with a dragon hilt on it, near where the snare was set. And you believe that this was what was used to cut the snare trap. And being that you are a kobold, you realize that this is a religious item. You dedicated to Kurtulmak.
Ah. Him great cobalt god. Got trapped under cave by mean gnome god.
Anybody you know?
As much as anyone knows their gods, which is, we pray and pray a lot, but our pleas fall on deaf ears, or they choose not to answer, or he's just trapped, and we need to free him. Like, we need to help the kid.
I was more wondering if the tracks that we're following happen to be some of your friends. You seem to be following them awfully easy.
Meepo much closer to the ground. Easier to see tracks.
Okay. I got my eye on you, though.
But yes, we can learn much from Kurtulmak. Being trapped in cave, lost and alone, abandoned, harmed by gnomes. Even still, you provide great benefit, attract great many kobold worshippers, inspire many great tales.
And also gave the gift of sorcery.
And also gave the gift of sorcery.
You say that like it's a good thing.
For kobolds it is. Kobolds not get very many gifts. Except daggers, and swords, and crossbows. Kobolds
Okay.
take whatever they can get.
All right, just let's go find this kid.
All right, more survival checks to see if you keep to the path. Woo! Between all of you, yeah, you keep this path. You are perfect. You don't make a single misstep. You just follow, and follow it until you come upon the lumber camp. How do you approach? Openly? Do you want to stealth?
I laugh at this anybody's suggestion of stealth with my armor clinking.
Clink quieter.
I will try to stealth up.
Okay. Whoa, okay. Both Meepo and the architect, you stealth up, and you see a labor camp. You see a mix of various humanoids, cutting down trees, chopping them into planks, organizing them, etc., etc. Do you approach Gimdal?
Seeing how they're going into sneaky mode, I guess I shall approach, but about 30 feet off to their side. But not really hiding my approach.
Alright, with that, you hear someone spots you, and you hear them say, "Foreman, we have some visitors!" And then a female Hildorf with a brown braided beard, a leather apron, and metal spiked leather boots approaches your group and goes, "How can I help you?"
Well, it's nice to see a pretty face.
Oh.
We are searching for a young man. Sorry,
Are you just...
what's the
Wait a
term?
minute, you were stealthing. Are you just suddenly popping out of the bushes being like, yo!
Well, okay. I thought they had spotted us. I'm sorry.
They spotted Gimdal.
Okay, I will. Then I will ignore that, or I will not ignore them. I will watch from the safety of our cover.
And Melinda goes,
Yes, I'm here looking for a missing child. Are you familiar with Maddie and her miraculous healing child from Elmwood?
Marco!
Yes, he seems to have gone missing. And I've tracked some footprints from his dwelling to this camp.
Lord, to preserve us. Marco is such a sweet little lad. Saved so many of my workers' limbs. And deaths from infection or broken bones. Oh.
You've not seen anything out of the ordinary recently, have you?
Well, for the past 2 weeks... Ugh. Come on, accent. Get me back in there. I'm just going with it. For the past 2 weeks, we've had a bunch of stuff stolen from us. Just little things like a bit of wood there, a bit of nails there. It didn't make any sense. It was really small amounts. I mean, you're welcome to investigate my camp. Anything for Marco. But I'm sorry, I didn't see him or anyone through my camp early this morning. And we get here at sunrise.
I see. Where do you stay during the night?
Oh, me and the men got a little a hovel in the village. I'm often at the tavern.
I'm making a small hand gesture of some sort in the direction of my party in case they wish to announce their presence. There doesn't seem to be anything dangerous at the moment.
Do you pop out?
I will try to sneak back to the trail and then act like I was just walking up around a bend.
Give me a performance check. See how well you do.
Ugh.
You don't really pull it off. You're kind of cut. You forget that, you brushed off your front, but then there's like a big sort of branch that's stuck to your cloak that's sticking out the back.
Makes sense.
Meepo will pop out and go, "Rawr!
Ah!
Ah!"
Don't worry,
Don't
worry.
do that!
They're with me.
When you're in a lumberyard, don't.
Don't hurt Meepo.
I'm not gonna hurt you, Meepo. But my boy Morden, there's people with saws and stuff here. Workplace safety is #1 here at Hillfort's lumberyard. You understand?
Workplace safety? What is this concept?
I turn to Meepo and I go, "You haven't heard of OSHA?"
No. Kobolds were ordered to go in the tunnels and dig.
Oh. You need to start worshiping the great Lord OSHA.
What?
Excuse me, lady. Did you say what your name was?
Melinda Hillfort.
And when I approached, you said something about a foreman. Is there a...
I'm the foreman.
Oh, you're the foreman. Okay. I should have figured.
You don't look like one of those human men. Meepo very confused.
Can I tell from where we're standing, like, how big this camp is?
It's a decent size for a lumber yard. I'm not sure the exact dimensions because I don't know how medieval lumber yards worked, but it's very average.
So I guess my question is, in a reasonable amount of time, would we be able to do a quick perimeter check for other signs?
Yeah, you could do, I say you could do it, you can spend like 15-20 minutes poking around, and you could get the perimeter and main areas pretty thorough. If anybody wants to roll me some investigation checks.
Sounds like a job for Meepo.
Yeah,
Meepo!
Or maybe not.
I will. No, not me.
They've gone cold.
Yeah.
Kimdal! You rolled the exact number you needed. In one of the piles, you find piles of lumber. You find a scrap of black and green colored scaled skin. And a tiny bit of blood.
I hold the scaled skin up next to Meepo.
It didn't come from Meepo. Meepo's a completely different color.
Oh, whew.
But does it look the same kind of consistency?
Yeah, the scales look the same. Like the structure of the scales. It's like, yeah, this is probably from a kobold.
Meepo didn't do it!
You're the inside man, though, aren't you?
Meepo not a man, Meepo kobold!
Meepo, stop being a scaredy Meepo. Be
There's
brave,
another
Meepo.
type. Oh, brave Meepo. Okay. Brave Meepo.
And also in your investigations, you find that the trail sort of cuts through the lumber camp to the other side. And right now it's about like 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Okay, I guess we can't linger here. Days are wasted. We better keep on this trail, see where it goes.
We could ask them if there's kobolds nearby. You know, maybe they were spotted.
Melinda, have you said you didn't see anything strange? I would assume that includes kobolds. You haven't seen any around?
Other than him, nah.
Kobolds are very good at sneaking. Meepo knows.
You're right. They are very good at sneaking.
Bulk.
Yes,
And she gives you a look.
Yeah, we better.
Meepo starts
we better
hiding
move on.
behind Gimdall.
What was it? What were you going to say, Gimdall?
I was going to say, yeah, we better get him out of here before they start getting their own ideas. Let's get back on the trail, Meepo.
All right, and then you find Margot and give me love to Maddie.
I
When
will.
you do. Oh, and she'll mutter like a prayer under her breath in Dorvish to Morden. And the architect, you get inspiration for mentioning Osha and worshipping Osha. And Gimdall, you gained an inspiration because that was some pretty good hitting on of Melinda. Inspiration for everyone.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yay!
Now roll me some survival checks to see if you stay on the trail.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
You can do it after. I'm not anal retentive like that.
Okay.
never did.
Woo! You guys speed through this forest. You are on the scent. And you also notice that this trail's a little different from the previous trail. This one looks a bit more well-worn. And you also notice that one side appears to be like flattened, and there's old like footsteps going alongside this strangely flattened area.
I'm beginning to suspect the kobolds ran into something.
You also notice that there are larger boot prints in the ground. This is like happening over the course of like a couple of hours. You notice bigger footprints. Ones that would be a medium-sized humanoid. Not necessarily a kobold. And you also notice a trap, and you're able to avoid it.
Nice.
I tried to see if there was anything I could get from the footprints, but
They are definitely boot prints, and they are definitely not kobold prints. These, you're guessing they're human. I mean, could also possibly be like an elf or something, but this is bigger than a kobold.
does somebody want to check these footprints out and see if we can tell how old they are?
I nominate
With all your
Meepo.
previous survivor rolls, you all rolled so high. You get the sense that they were made this day. Within the past 24 hours. If not sooner.
Okay, onwards along the footprints.
Okay, and you just keep following this trail for hours and hours. And it's about sunset. When you come to this sort of strange depression in the forest that is marked by a large sort of... It's almost like a bowl in the forest. Geological depression. It's a circular plateau about 50 feet across and 30 feet down. At the end, it slowly lowers into this depression. And there's massive trees, large roots, thorny bushes inside. And a cold drizzle starts to come down on you when you see a cave at the other end. And you also see the burnt body of a woman in front of this cave.
Meeple will look around to see if there's an additional set of traps, possibly.
Sure, roll me investigation. And I have made the map live. Go to scroll down to the very bottom. And to put your... Oh, I'll place your tokens. 1 sec. Alright, so I have added your tokens to the scroll down very bottom of the map. Can everyone see it?
Yes.
Everyone's loaded it okay?
Yes.
Excellent. So, what do you two guys do?
You said there was a body of a woman in front of the cave?
Yeah, see where that bush is? We're gonna say that's where the body of the woman is.
I was going to, before Meepo ran over there, I was going to suggest that maybe Meepo and Architect could stealth while I scout the area out.
Okay, if you want to roll stealth, roll some stealth.
Sure.
And then I'm going to go over and check the body of look at the body of the woman.
Okay. You look at the woman and she's pretty burnt. And I'm gonna say, just from being adventurers in general, you know what, that's still enough. A 10's still enough. That's average. You sniff her and you can tell that this is some sort of alchemical thing. That's what caused her to burn up. And it is quite recent. The blood has not fully dried. and she still feels warm, and rigor mortis has not set in.
I relay this quietly to the other two. Be wary of traps.
Also, you notice on her lapel an insignia of the Scarlet Fangs, a thieves' guild, a notorious thieves' guild.
Either of you know anything about this thieves guild?
Hmm.
Highly unlikely.
They're very notorious. I don't have
Meepos
much.
knows nothing.
I was trying to see if her footwear matched the prints we were following.
You take a look at her foot and you kind of go, yeah, that looks about right. You get the sense that, yeah, it's probably them.
All right, you guys want me to go on in ahead and see what I see, or do you want to stealth in and check for traps?
I like stealthing in.
Sneaky, sneaky.
All right, does everyone have dark vision?
I have devil sight.
Meepo has dark vision, being a kobold.
Dark.
All right, so the entrance to the cave is completely dark.
Oh, good.
But
Meepo
you
has
can-
sunlight sensitivity.
But you can see a barricade from the wood that was probably stolen from the lumberyard. And Meepo, you hear a bunch of people talking in Draconic. Those people are kobolds.
What are they saying, by the way?
They're saying, intruders, intruders at the door, intruders! Get ready, get ready! Ah! We must defend them so soon? You get to hear these, like, wisps of talking.
I let the party know this.
About how many voices do I hear?
What would that be? Roll me perception.
Okay.
You hear 5 voices. But you also hear some echoing, and there's more deeper into the cave, but the 5 voices are right behind the barricade.
Okay.
What do you guys do? Do you guys attack? Do you guys wait? Do you guys... What do you want to do?
I'm kind of looking at Meepo to take my lead.
Please don't hurt Meepo.
And...
No.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I want Meepo to tell me what to do.
Oh, well, they seem to think we're intruders, and we'll defend the cave to anyone who comes in, unless they're kobolds like them, and even then they'll be very suspicious.
Okay.
Oh, Meepo, you also hear, because you are a kobold, you also hear, we gotta defend him. Gotta defend our god. We will die for our god. Those other people wanted our god. These people want our god too.
They're also defending their god.
Oh, I got this. I will turn to the kobolds and trying to get in a 20-foot radius, I'm going to cast Calm Emotions.
Oh, okay, 1 sec. Let me open them up for you. You also see a pit trap open in front of you, so if you want, you can control-click the tokens and cast Calm Emotions and see how that works.
All right. I got 1. Kobold 4. And the Kobold Inventor.
No, well, success means they pass. So 2 didn't pass. So 2 succeeded. The rest failed.
Correct. And I looks like I missed a Kobold. Is that right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you got them all.
Okay. I also need to target my friends.
You also targeted yourself by accident.
So
that's a 24, so...
There, that's what I want to do. And then I need to target Meepo and Gimdall.
You want to forcibly calm their emotions?
It affects everyone.
Yeah, okay. Meepo is able to shake it off, but Gimdall, you are under the effect of calm emotions. How does it feel?
I'm pretty laid back.
So not much has changed. It's just like, good rhythms, man.
Meepo, do you think you could negotiate with these kobolds?
Yeah.
Can't we just all get along?
Meepo goes up and says, "Hi, I'm Meepo. We've come to say hi to God."
The other kobolds have this eye of like... It looks like they're high. Their eyes are all like red. And they're like, "Oh, you've heard about our god?
Yes. The same God you were talking about a moment ago and we just overheard? Yes, we've heard about the God. We'd like to say hi.
Yeah, because guess what? Jim, come over here. Then one of the kobolds that you calmed emotions will come over, and you'll see, like, this, the cuts on him, and he'll say, our God healed him. He was gonna die, but then he touched him. And woo! It all went away.
Ooh.
His name...
Good God.
He's awesome. Although he's like a human, he's real awesome. You know, he just touches you and heals. That's the sign of Kulturmak, am I right? He's been reincarnated. It just went a little funny, but he got put into a tiny human instead of a
And he's
kobold.
escaped the cave. Colonel Mox escaped the cave and has been reincarnated.
I know, right? Huzzah!
That's awesome. Please, can you take us to him?
Yes,
Hold on.
yes.
I've been to another plane. I would like to tell them that they need to... This is great news that he is reincarnated. And whenever you hear he is reincarnated, you need to say he is reincarnated indeed. Okay?
Yeah,
And
that's what we were saying, man.
And what you're gonna do is you're gonna put on let's get you some white shirts and some neckties, and it is your job to go to every village and town and spread the news of your God.
The good news.
The good news of your God.
So are they going to be kobold, should I say... This is said with loving reverence to the religions I'm going to mention. Are they going to be more kobold Mormons or more kobold Jehovah's Witnesses? Are they going to be handing out the Watchtower or the Book of Mormon?
I'm looking to see, like, do they have, like, kobold alcoholic beverages?
Yeah, I think they have Pruno.
So, yeah, they're going to have to be Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, we can't go with kobold Mormonism if they're handing out, if they're drinking liquor. Just doesn't work.
I think kobolds do drink liquor, right?
Yeah.
And they would like warm beverages. They would like caffeine. So, yeah, we're going with Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
They're like...
Totally kobolds a bit fun.
And you dress them up. Somehow, From out of nowhere,
Oh,
you produce...
no, I use my disguise kit.
There we go! With your disguise kit, you are able to fashion this little white shirt, little tie, and a copy, and somehow whip out a copy of the Marco Tower to spread the word.
I get some parchment and I write one up for them. And I tell them that they need to make sure they use pack tactics, so they should never go alone for their safety.
Always
Yeah.
travel in pairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I've run this game like 10 something times. This part has never happened. But it's amazing and I don't care. So you dress them all up in these little ties and you know, they all go off to spread the word of Marco. The reincarnated god of Cultamac, and you know. Yeah.
I give Meepo an outfit as well.
Meepo feels accepted. Meepo has never been accepted before like this.
We've got a convert.
Praise be to Colonel Locke and his new reincarnation.
Where is he, by the way?
Oh, he's in the back with Matron Tonki. And the priests and priestesses.
Thank you. Spread the good word.
We shall, brother.
And I teach them how to make the sign. It is and it's the live long and prosper.
Oh
from Star
my
Trek.
god. Yes!
What plane did you say you were from?
I get around.
Oh my god.
It's not so much that I'm from whatever plane the Raven Queen is on. It's the fact that
The Shadowfell.
yeah, that it's not that I'm from the Shadowfell. It's that I'm her interplanar emissary. I've just been on this plane for a while.
You're going to make your way over to Eberron now that the new adventures come out?
This character, no, but eventually, at some point.
Oh yeah, your characters are locked in for Eberron campaigns AL. They can't travel in between.
Right.
And with that, you send out a bunch of missionaries to the god
Kobold
Marco.
missionaries.
Kobold missionaries to knock on doors. This is going to be funny.
Oh yeah, and you know at some point you're going to use this shtick.
I just might. I am starting Dragon Heist in 2 weeks. And with that, you pass through this area, but more kobolds are behind this next barricade. And Grimdall! Roll me a quick perception check. Don't move.
Okay.
Oh, Gimdall. I'm sorry, not Grimdall. Gimdall.
Perception.
You are able to avoid walking into a pit trap. This one was hidden. The other one in front of you, the one you saw by the entrance, was triggered. This one, it was still hidden.
Meepo, maybe you better go first.
Okay, Meepo go first.
Are you going to let Meeple walk into a trap?
No, I point out the trap. And I'm like,
Okay.
Thank
Meepo,
you.
there's a trap here, but I feel much more comfortable with you looking for them.
Okay. Oh, you're very nice. Other adventuring party let Meepo step into trap before they told him about trap.
Oh, Kobold Adventurers. My husband plays a Kobold Sorcerer.
Warden would not forgive me if I allowed that to happen.
And you meet even more kobolds behind this barricade. That did hear a bit of your spiel about wanting to meet Marco. But these ones are a bit more skeptical. What do you do?
I say, "Hi, I'm Meepo. I'm here to worship Marco, the reincarnation of Kurtlemock."
Are you lying, or are you totally are you a convert?
Meepo is now a convert. Meepo is now convinced that Marco is the reincarnation of Kurtlemock.
All right, roll me a persuasion.
Architect, there's a pit trap right there.
I assume because you noticed it, you told everyone else. And he just kind of is
Meepo will
straddling
use
it.
his inspiration for this.
Use it!
Eh.
You know what? This is just too good. They're not gonna outright attack you. But they are a bit suspicious. What would you say to convince them that you totally believe in this?
Meepo just wants to prove his faith and worship here. He will sit here for days, starving, till you let him in the door.
Meepo, before you go any further, let me give you some inspiration. Is it inspiration?
You can do assistance.
I was thinking, well, I guess probably assistance would be better than guidance.
Oh, yeah. So re-roll that with advantage. Maybe we'll get high.
Reroll with advantage? Okay.
Sure, why not?
Meepo just wants to prove his worth and his loyalty. Meepo will undergo the test. Meepo will suffer for penance. Meepo knows he has sinned and wishes to prove his faith.
And Gimdall, how are you assisting him? He is currently groveling. How are you, like, making sure the kobolds believe him?
Sorry, I was going to add that I'm making shirts in the background with my disguise kit, basically saying, and if you join, you'll get this nice t-shirt.
Okay, that'll work. Gimdall, you're like, yeah, we're totally in on this.
I'm holding Meepo up on my shoulders as the revered one.
There you go. And with that, they don't let you into the cave, but they go, we'll get Matron Tonky. 1 second. And the kobold will run back and run to the front. And you will then you will meet Matron Tonky.
All right, now remember, we need to tell Matron Tomke that it's past Meepo's bedtime.
It is?
Yes, and every god needs their nap. You don't want to piss off God who didn't get their nap.
No, you don't.
Meepo, how are your kobold seduction skills?
Meepo?
And with that, Matron Tonky comes forward. She looks Meepo up and down, then curiously, and then sees you two and goes, "So how did you find out about our god? If you've come to worship him so soon."
Meepo had a great vision. And that vision involved And that vision involved investigating the disappearance of the child and overhearing the conversion and deification of Kurtlemock.
It is true that
In the child.
the child must be the reincarnation of Kurtlemock. I mean, did you see what he did to Jim?
He's healed!
Healed! But I need to know. And she'll actually stick a dagger to your throat, Meepo.
Oh.
Will you harm
Yes.
Marco? Are you working for Z?
No, Meepo doesn't even know who Z is. Is Z that gnomish person or related to them?
And
Meepo starts growling at the thought of gnomes.
Matron Tonkney will look into your eyes and assess that you're truthful. And she will say, Z is the woman who hired us to steal her child back. You see, Marco was born to Z, but Z needed, she's a working mother. She needed to go off and work for a while, so she left her child with the nanny. But the nanny decided to just take the child and run away and move here and refused to give the child back. So Z hired us to get the child back. But then we realized he was the God reborn. This is all a matter of faith.
Did Z provide any proof of these allegations?
She provided us a lot of gold. Many shiny coins.
And what does Z look like?
She's a human. She kept her cloak over her face. And she had one of those stupid flying cats.
I was gonna say, I understand all humans look alike.
Uh-huh.
Especially when they cloak themselves and hide in bars and give you quests.
Yeah, see, you all know what I'm talking about.
Where were you supposed to meet Z?
Good question. Well, she was supposed to meet us by the lumber mill, and yesterday, we were supposed to meet her by the lumber mill, but afterwards, we went around the lumber mill and chose not to visit her after she saved Jim and was obviously the reincarnation of Kultimak.
Praise be to Colonel Mock!
Praise!
So was that Jim's blood that we found back at the lumber mill?
No, you get the sense that was more of like a skin your knee sort of situation. Like, Jim was actually really hurt. Like, he could have died otherwise. If he hadn't saved Jim.
Can we
All
go
right,
see
I'm going
the boy
to-
and offer our praises to him?
Yes, of course, Brother Meepo. Maybe you can understand him a little better. I've raised many a hatchling in my day, but human toddlers are a bit different. And she will usher you into the back of the cave, and you will see a bunch of priests and priestesses circling a tantruming toddler. Studying this toddler like it was trying to give them some divine sort of, almost like they're reading entrails or something, or tea leaves. And one of them will go, "Cookie? You want a cookie, Marco?" And of course, as an angry toddler would, they'll smack the cookie out of the hands. And their cleric will just kind of scratch his head and go, "But you wanted a cookie 5 minutes ago."
Are they doing interpreting diapers and stuff like that?
Not necessarily. He's a toddler. I don't think he would be. I think he's out of diapers, but they're trying to interpret this tantrum and trying to decipher the will of the god, because toddlers by their very nature are confounding.
Meepo, can you try to convince these people of yours that the god, it may be the god, but the god is housed in a human vessel. It's very fragile. That perhaps he might be better off being cared by people who are more familiar with his current form, and maybe some sort of a deal could be arranged where they could visit to worship him?
What, you see human child with kobolds? And somehow that no good? Kobold's not good enough to raise human child?
Does he look like he's happy?
Have you asked him? He may like it here.
And with
As
that,
anyone-
and actually seeing Gimdall and the architect, he will start crying, "Mommy, I want my mommy, mommy."
Oh,
See?
okay.
I look over and I'm like,
Yes.
well, obviously he needs the care of a mother-like figure, which I believe with your cobaldiness, you're not able to necessarily provide. Maybe we can do something where we can discuss visitation rights. Because remember, every reincarnated god needs a good nap time.
Roll me a persuasion. She is
It's
slightly
true.
ticked off because she is matron Tockney, and she has raised many of hatchling. And are you one to, diss her parenting skills, sir?
I am not questioning your parenting skills.
With
I just know that
Are
raising a kobold is
weird.
different than a human.
Humans are weird. They take years to become adult. Not years, many years.
Years? How many
Meepo
years?
doesn't understand this.
How many
Um,
years?
At least
Who?
10.
10?
Yes.
10 years to...
No,
Oh.
I interject and I'm like, no, it must at least be 30 or 40.
You know it's 18!
I'm an elf. I don't know these things.
The other guy's a dwarf who, they mature at like 50, so they're like, eh.
Sounds right to me.
Meepo was sure it was 10.
Meepo, can you count past 10?
Meepo's smart kobold. Yes, Meepo can count past 10.
Okay.
Are you insulted by his insinuation?
A little bit.
I mean, well, you should be. Wait, yeah, you should be.
But, strange gloomy one, a little bit right. Kid, Girdlemock's chosen vessel's human. Should be around humans. Maybe convert humans to Girdlemock's way.
I
Maybe.
never thought of that.
Opening
I start
message to
putting
everyone.
shirts together.
She will take the shirt and says, "What's this?"
Uniform of God.
She'll put it on.
Very lucrative business.
No one in the entire time I've run this module, and I've run it over a year now, has ever started a new cult. This is perfect, though. This is amazing. I love it.
That's how you do it.
Praise be to Marco, the reincarnation of Colonel Mock.
Praise!
Praise be.
Praise be! The rest of the tribe says. And with that, Matron Tockney will relent. But she'll say, "Meepo, I want our tribe and yours to have unfettered access to him. So we may worship him when he becomes an adult and the time comes."
Meepo promises.
Good, I trust you, Meepo. Also, I don't know what to do with this child. I mean, he says he wants a cookie. We give him a cookie. He kicks the cookie away. And then he does this flailing about like he's a new hatchling.
Meepo just shakes his head. As young kobold, we got sent into tunnel. We dig tunnel. Those that survive make it to adulthood. Not complain about cookie. Humans get cookies.
Exactly.
Humans are a little more complicated.
Humans spoil the young. You gotta throw them into the mines early.
Mm-hmm. How else will they learn to dig and make traps?
Exactly. Toughens the skin.
Excuse me, Meepo, sounds like you're talking her into keeping it. We're trying to do the opposite, remember?
No. Please, go take him back to his nanny or whatever, but I want my tribe to be able to worship him as we spread the good word of Marco!
Praise be to Marco!
Praise
Praise
be!
Turtle
Hello.
All right. We will ask the kid to make sure that he wants to return to the woman we got the mission from and not the cloaked figure.
I want Mommy.
Yeah, we'll
And you
see
get
how.
the sense that Mommy is Maddie because that whole story just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I'm gonna leave my kid with the nanny for years. Doesn't make any sense.
Meepo not sure. Humans weird. Humans leave their kids off to school for a year. What they learn in school that they can't learn at home in cave with tribe.
Or in the tunnels.
Or in tunnels.
Everything you learned in Kinder Tunnel.
Algebra?
Kinder tunnel.
Oh. I mean, geometry I'd understand, but algebra?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You see? You have trap to build. Trap requires 9 kobold hours. You have 3 kobolds. How many hours does trap take to build?
Understood. Okay.
Yeah. That is the basics of algebra.
Note to
Depends
self.
on whether or not he visits his hoe, and that, my son, is what they call a variable. And with that, you pick up Marco and walk through the night, back home to Maddie, and Maddie, tears strained, hugs him and
Before we hand him over, we negotiate visiting rights for the kobolds.
Oh, you really meant that?
Yes.
Maddie will look a little disturbed. And
It's okay,
also
trust
Maddie will read the watch Marco. You have and give
Kobolds
the two of you a very
will
quizzical
provide
look.
kobolds will provide protection against him. You worried about next person who steal? Kobolds set up traps.
Yeah.
Kobold very good at setting up traps.
I mean, an army
It
of
will help protect them.
minions. I mean, I guess that will help. But I don't want him getting a big head. So keep it on the down low, alright?
All right, we'll communicate with them and we'll arrange visiting hours and times that they can come and set up traps and worship him.
Right. And they can't interrupt nap time.
Speaking of worship,
Absolutely
He is
not.
the reincarnation of Kurtlemock, after all.
Yes, he needs his naps. Oh boy, if you don't put him down for his afternoon nap by 2 o'clock, this child, ugh.
I think we need to increase his fame though by taking him to demonstrate his power to a certain lady that we know who's ailing.
And you'll tell her about Elsa Tillingwood's offer and stuff, and she'll turn to Meepo and say, "It's very important for a god to get educated."
It
And
is.
Lady Elsa will also help protect him. And I'm sure she'll let him visit. You visit, him whenever you want. Again, provided it's not nap time and it's not too much so he gets a big head.
Okay,
Yeah.
as long as we can negotiate the detail, but Meepo think this is a good deal between kobolds and humans, and for protection of reincarnation of Kurtlemock.
And with that, she actually begins packing right away. She doesn't really want to stay here any longer. The next morning, she makes her goodbyes to the town folks.
We
Are
will
you really going to do that, Gimdal, after you negotiated safe return of this kid? Or are you just being sarcastic?
I'm torn, being a lawful good cleric of Moradin, allowing evil kobolds to survive.
But do you think with their newfound change in religion, maybe you could make them good kobolds? Chaotic good, but good.
Okay. All
They're
right.
lawful. They've reached a contract.
Yeah,
Okay.
the kobolds found Marcos.
Okay, Bob. Maybe just keep an eye on them for now.
Most certainly, friend. It is we must try and convert all races to the cause of good. And with little Marco here, we might just convert this one. And they all look so nice in their little ties, and this pamphlet isn't so bad. I mean, it has a few good points.
I mean, plus, didn't your town have problems with Moender? Not kobolds. Kobolds will probably help you stop Moender. You know, they like booze.
However, we must teach them about economics. We must teach them that gold can be used to buy goods and/or services instead of stealing.
Maybe you could start with the t-shirts.
Could you do that for us, Meepo?
Meepo will do what Meepo does best.
Don't do it, Meepo. Don't be a sellout.
What?
Teaching them not to steal is not selling out.
It's betraying their true kobold identity.
Their true kobold identity is to make traps and take what's in the traps.
Okay.
Kobolds, not gnomish thieves that pickpocket in towns. Kobolds have better sense. We hunt, we gather. Humans who invade cave, we defend ourselves from them.
We can discuss the fine points later. Let's just get this kid to Elsa.
And with that, you are able to quickly return to Elsa. And, you witness Marco hugging Lady Elsa. And it's like suddenly she's brought back to life. She, in fact, looks a little younger than her 60 years. And she goes, thank you so much. Oh, this child is truly a blessing upon us all.
You have received the divine gift of Curdlemock. You are truly blessed.
Eh?
I make
Curdlemock.
the El Loco sign and point to my kobold friend.
Oh, great. And then before all three of you go, Marco will hug each and every one of you, and a weird rune will appear on your skin that glows a little white light. You receive... I will copy and paste this into Discord.
Okay.
It will read, it is a mark of vitality. It acts as a single dose of a potion of vitality. And you also gain 2 health potions for you guys to barter over, I believe. And then you also gain 2 character advancement points and 2 treasure points. And you also gain the story reward. The kid likes you, which gives you the charm of vitality. And respect of the Pure Snout tribe. By creating a group of Marco's witnesses. The kobolds, if you run into this tribe of kobolds in the future, you might get their help. And you also gain 5 downtown days and a point of renown. But with that, that's the end of the adventure.
Well, that was quite interesting.
That was quite interesting. Nobody ever created a cult before.
You haven't played enough with Richard and I.
Uh-huh.
It's about an every other week occurrence.
Creating cults? Oh.
Yeah.
Creating, joining, saying hi to.
Mm-hmm.
Great roleplay all around, guys. I really had a lot of fun.
Thank you for DMing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, that was fun.
Alright, with that, I will cut off the stream. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Bye-bye! I will be playing this throughout the entire weekend for onCCCCon. So if you're interested, click in the doobly-doo down below and sign up. Bye-bye!
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Au revoir.